As Mick Schumacher currently occupies his reserve driver role at Mercedes, he is preparing for a return to a full-time seat in Formula One. The German driver may be back in F1 sooner rather than later. Stay tuned to find out which team Mick could make a comeback with. Mick Schumacher, the son of the 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher, has had the pause button pressed on his Formula One career after Haas opted not to renew his contract for what would have been a third season with the team. Schumacher ultimately did not do enough in the eyes of Gunther Steiner and co. to justify remaining on the grid alongside Kevin Magnussen, with Haas instead choosing to add even more experience to their lineup in the form of Nico Hülkenberg. Growing up as the son of the legendary Michael Schumacher, Mick has been immersed in the world of Formula One from a young age. This unique upbringing has granted him a profound understanding of the intricacies and nuances of the sport. Furthermore, Mick's connection to his father has kept the spotlight firmly fixed on him, adding an extra layer of scrutiny to his career. Haas expected him to have that magical touch like his father, but that didn't happen. After Haas did not retain Mick for the 2023 season, he faced the challenge of finding another full-time seat in Formula One. No seat was available, so the German accepted a reserve driver role at Mercedes while carefully planning his future in the sport. Mick is working hard to make a full-time return and is making the best of his role with Mercedes. Right before the season started, he spoke about how he would go about being a reserve driver and what he hopes to gain from the experience. He also added that his sights are set on a full-time return in 2024. Mick said, "Over the winter, a few people have already mentioned that there is interest. So in that sense, I'm not too worried. The opportunity to observe the inner workings of a team boasting the likes of 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton and the promising talent of George Russell has undoubtedly been beneficial for Schumacher. However, it comes as no surprise that he harbors ambitions of returning to a full-time Formula One seat. According to reports, Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has taken it upon himself to spearhead Schumacher's mission to reclaim a spot on the Formula One grid. Recognizing the fierce competition for the limited 20 seats available, Wolff is reportedly leveraging his extensive contacts outside of Mercedes to create opportunities for his reserve driver. Wolff's reputation for meticulous succession planning within his team is well established. With Lewis Hamilton potentially nearing retirement, a significant void would be left at Mercedes. This presents an ideal scenario for Schumacher, widely regarded as one of the brightest talents in F1, to step into the shoes of the legendary Hamilton. However, Schumacher requires regular seat time in a car to be a viable candidate for such a pivotal role. In light of this, the report suggests that Williams, Mercedes' customer team, could serve as a potential destination for the German racer if they seek an upgrade over their current driver, Logan Sargeant. By honing his skills at Williams, Schumacher could be groomed for a future transition to Mercedes, effectively extending his father's illustrious legacy. Toto Wolff's association with the Williams team further strengthens the plausibility of this position. Having previously held shares in the team, Wolff shares a familiar rapport with Williams team principal James Vowles, who assumed the role earlier in 2023 after a long tenure as Mercedes strategy chief. Reports claim that Wolff is actively pursuing Vowles to consider granting Schumacher a seat at Williams in place of their rookie driver Logan Sargeant. While Sargeant displayed promise at the outset of his maiden F1 campaign, he has struggled to maintain momentum, particularly as his teammate Alex Albon has delivered standout performances. As a result, Sargeant is reportedly viewed as a shaky candidate within the Williams team. In fact, Sargeant has been given the upcoming tripleheader to show significant improvement or face an embarrassing exit from the Grove-based team. However, given that Sargeant is Williams' first academy driver to be promoted into their F1 team, it is unlikely that he will be sacked anytime soon. The American has actually shown considerable potential in his first 5 races in the sport, having appeared in Q2 and shown respectable pace at times, although he has struggled in the last few races. Recent incidents, such as a collision with AlphaTauri's Nick de Vries in Melbourne and a crash in the sprint shootout qualifying session in Baku, have left Sargeant and de Vries as the only drivers yet to score a point in the F1 2023 season. The potential reconsideration of Sargeant's future with Williams signifies a swift change in his fortunes. Vowles previously overlooked Sargeant during his time at Mercedes, but the Florida native has proven himself since then, earning the support and investment of Williams. Vowles admitted his initial hesitation and acknowledged his mistake, saying, "So it just shows you that in my previous life, I was wrong, and Williams right." As a result of his recent struggles, Wolff is said to be talking to Vowles about replacing Sargeant with Schumacher. With no seat likely to be available for Schumacher at Mercedes anytime soon, the German will presumably need to leave leave the Brackley-based team if he wants to return to the grid next season, something Wolff appears to be helping with. Schumacher was linked to Sargent Williams' seat before the rookie was confirmed by the team, reportedly having been on standby if Sargent failed to accumulate enough super license points. While a mid-season switch to Williams does not look very likely, he has more chance of switching to Grove than to Faenza, with Red Bull advisor Dr. Helmut Marko having revealed that Schumacher will not be considered should De Vries be dropped. Aside from Williams, which other opportunity is open to Schumacher to return back to the F1 grid? One of the most interesting paths open to Schumacher, though, is outside Mercedes, and that's to be identified by Audi as a candidate for its Sauber Run Works team in 2026. Audi has already made noises about the benefits of a German driver for its project, and if that's seriously the direction it wants to go in, then with respect to Nico Hülkenberg, who will be 38 by the time the 2026 season rolls around, Schumacher is the only real candidate. Sauber, currently Alfa Romeo in F1, fielded Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu for a second season in 2023, but the Alfa Romeo deal ends next year, and at that point, the Audi influence may start to show. Bringing in Schumacher from the cold would give the team a chance to warm him up in 2024, with an expectation of a clear step as a driver in 2025 ahead of the full Audi rebrand. Audi would ideally still have a proper top-line option to lead the project, but while Schumacher is unlikely to be a world champion in the making, he still has something to offer in F1 and may yet have the makings of an effective support act for a leading team. Schumacher said when he lost his drive last year, "I want to prove everybody wrong who doesn't believe in me, because I know what I can do. I've proven that in the junior categories, and I don't see a reason why I can't do that in Formula 1 either." Working out where he might be able to do that is a largely speculative exercise for now, if one we have at least kept grounded in reality. The bottom line is Schumacher wants to get back on the F1 grid in 2024, and it is highly unlikely that will be with his 2023 employers. The work he conducts for Mercedes in 2023 will have real value if Schumacher does a good job, but it's whatever he can do to aid his cause for 2024 that will ultimately matter more. The lessons Mick gleans from this year as a reserve driver hold immense value for his future endeavours. Working within the Mercedes garage and contributing to the efforts of such a revered team presents him with unique benefits. Moreover, the opportunity to closely collaborate with individuals of the caliber of Toto Wolff, Lewis Hamilton, and George Russell provides Mick with an up-close insight into the workings and strategies of these exceptional drivers. As Mick Schumacher navigates his path in Formula 1, he remains resilient in the face of his critics and determined to carve out his own legacy. With his dedication, talent, and invaluable experiences he continues to accumulate, Mick's journey promises to be one filled with both challenges and triumphs as he strives to make his mark in the sport that has been an integral part of his life since he was born. Now over to you. What's your thought about Schumacher's possible move to Williams? Will he perform better than Logan Sargent? Let us know in the comments section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video.